Good morning. I'm going to try to walk a little bit before I go take my shower. But I don't know how well I'll do. I did wake up with less pain this morning, so hopefully that's a good sign. Because what happens is I usually got to go to bed, and then by the time I wake up, pills have worn off, and I experience a lot of pain just trying to get out of the bed. Ouch. And see, I just jarred myself again, these stupid sidewalks and roads and stuff. Ugh. So I'll be limping along here before long. Hopefully not. I want to get all better. I need to get all better. Life is still in front of me, not just behind me. But I have thought that life was about over. But I guess there could be another 20 years, huh? That would be nice. As long as I'm not in pain. I don't want to be around suffering. And I say that people have a right to die. I mean it. Doesn't mean you sit there and kill yourself, but it means if the time comes and the only thing that's keeping you alive is medication, you think that's what God wanted? He wanted you to stay alive because of that? I don't think so. I mean, there are things to stay alive for. But I'm just saying, there comes a time in life when if you're the only one left, then you're sitting in a nursing home. You're sitting in a nursing home all by yourself. Nobody cares about you. They probably don't take care of you very well. And isn't that a lovely thing to think about? In other words, if you get the opportunity to go see your maker and it's natural, in other words, dying of natural causes, people, that's what they used to do. Yeah, I don't want to die either. I do not want to die. But then again, you just have to think about it. You're going back home. You've been here, you've been on loan, basically. In other words, children are on loan to their parents because the parents aren't really their parents. They're their parents for this life. But in the end, Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother are our parents. And they're not dead. They're just over there. They're busy. I used to think surely they don't have time for me. They have so many to take care of. But then again, ouch. Let me just say ouch a few more times. Can't help myself. It's like when I got a headache that comes out of my mouth every other minute. I got a headache. My head hurts. Oh my God. No, I don't do well with pain. I guess none of us do. But it does seem like some people have a high tolerance for pain when others do not. Plus a high tolerance for dealing with people. Our loved ones at that, I have to control myself. Made Dad breakfast, did the best I could, and his bacon comes out different, at times. And this bacon was thicker. I did it like I always do. I think I might not have put in 5 seconds or something. But he just let me know that the bacon was not to his liking. And I tried to explain, but you know what? I did my best. If it ain't good enough, do it yourself. That's what I say. So I told him we just won't have bacon anymore. Just stick it back in the microwave. But by the time you get the outer edges, the thinner pieces, for some reason that are not crispy, because he likes his bacon crispy, so do I. I do not like fat. I don't like bacon fat. Now, bacon fat is cooked and crispy. I love it. So I don't blame him. But, you know, all I can do is what I can do, and otherwise, forget it. Because if I fixed it crispy like he wanted it, the whole thing crispy, then the other part would be burnt. And he wouldn't like that either. So that's what I say. Not good enough. You'll have to do it yourself. I try, and I'll try a little harder, or maybe I'll just get a pair of scissors and cut off that part that he don't like. You know, instead. You know, he wasn't a horrible person about it all. But, you know, when you try hard, it is hard for someone to say. Or it's hard to take someone saying they didn't appreciate it. It wasn't done good enough. You know, that's just the way it is. You cannot have everything perfect. So you pick off the stuff that's not. And you eat the stuff that is. But nevertheless, like I said, I just said that the other day, what a nice blessing it is to have that pre-cooked bacon. So you don't have as big a mess when you try to cook it. You got all that grease left over. I hate that. But anyway. Love me tender, love me true. All my dreams fulfill. Oh, my darling, I love you. And I always will. That is for the ones that we love in a romantic way. Not for all the others that we love in a weird way. And maybe not a weird way, a different way, you know. Like your love for your sister or your brother. Or your mother or your father. Or your son or your daughter. Or your Father in heaven. You're supposed to love him, you know. And you need to love yourself. What does that really mean? I don't know. But you do need to respect yourself. Don't settle for less than you're supposed to be. Don't settle to live in hell for the rest of your life. If you're living in a situation and it ain't cool, you find a way to get out of it. Call for help. There are people who will help. You know, you just never know. But all I know is this life is precious. And we're only given a short period of time. Because as you find out later in life, that your life has just passed by in a blink. And there it is. It's over. This part of your life is over. I mean, because you have your pre-existence and you have this existence, and then we're going to go to a holding space probably. I have a feeling we're going to be very busy people no matter where we're at. I'm not going to lay down and rest. Sorry to burst your bubble, because that ain't happening. You lay down in that grave, you're still alive. Your body's in the grave, but you're not. You might come back later on and get it. Now see, I use the word might. I am not positive about a lot of things, really. I know some things, I believe some things, and some things I'm just not quite sure of. But that makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I'll answer my question, okay? Anyway, unless things are in a better situation come springtime, I guess I'll go home. Go home and take care of my place. I can't live there in the wintertime, and it's hard to live there anytime by yourself because it doesn't have running water, guys. We have a well, but it's 1,500 feet away from the power, so we use a generator. I've been through so many generators in the last 10 years. That's kind of an expensive means of getting water. I know there's a better way. But the biggest, better way is to have money. Have money and get power. Took out to my other building and to my well, so that I can just flip a switch and the water runs. Wouldn't that be lovely? I'm serious. You people don't even realize the wonderful amenities of life. The simplest little things. Running water. Massive. Massive blessing to have running water. As long as it doesn't get plugged up. Not work. I don't think I can walk up there. I think I'm walking a little better too. Now, just before I came out, I decided I would go ahead and take my pain medicine because I know it's coming. Last time I took it, though, was at 10:30 last night. So that's pretty good. I made it almost 12 hours without extra medicine. And that's pretty good. I would say that's good. Anyway, I really should have came out last night and took a video of the house across the street. I really like their icicles across the top, and then they've got a star over there too. So it's just really pretty. Okay, so another song popped in my head. I don't know if I can get it out at all. Let's see. Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright, 'cause I only have eyes for you, dear. Yeah, I know. I can't sing it exactly right because my voice, if I was to try to sing it like it is, then my voice would crack. So I kind of slow down and take it a little notch down and make it through. But that's a good song. I only have eyes for you, dear. Da da dum da da dee. La 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 la. That's about it for that. I know I laugh too much. I said that before. Yeah, so this piece of property around here, I mean, this has shape. It goes up and down and all around. You know, that street goes up and around. The one on the other side does the same. My place in Colorado, pretty much flat. Now, ways over, you know, within a couple, 3 miles, there's a little canyon. But on my property, it's just flat. No trees. There were trees around my property, you know, like on the property behind me, there's fruit trees, and they're pretty big. And then someone built a cellar there. We found it by accident one day. And no, hasn't been inhabited in a long time. And I had spiders and stuff down in there. But you know, need to find out about that place, because if there was a major tornado coming through, that would be the place to go get into. Or build another one, you know. Need to build a storm cellar. And a big one. And it's not just a storm cellar, also to put your food in. What do they call that? A fruit cellar. So it's still a cellar. But a place to put your food. And something that doesn't look obvious, so that other people coming in prowling won't see it, won't take it. But then when the storm comes, that will kill you, you can hide in it. Well, I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I mean, I can feel some pain, but it's not so bad. It's not like I have been experiencing. Because, oh my God, I don't know if anybody else, I imagine there's a few of you that have felt that deep within your body. And I don't exactly know how to explain it, but a pulling, It's all pulled together because it is all together, you know. Sorry for the snorting. I guess I do that a lot. I wouldn't like listening to that either. But if a person can't really help it, you know, then you just need to try to overlook it, okay? Or, I don't know if there's a way to turn the sound off and then read the words, because it does have it where you can read the script. No, I don't know how to use my stuff. I need to take a class, but I don't want to take time to stop. And really, I've lost a month. It has been a month because my surgery was on the 6th of November. And I'm not even sure what day it is. Today's either the 14th or the 15th. Oh, seems like it might have been the 14th yesterday. In other words, only 10 days to Christmas Eve. Wow. And I have not prepared at all. I have not even thought about it. It's like, it's not a possibility. Really what I need to do is get my ad out there. You guys, I do need money. So any of you that want to donate to the cause, you know, maybe you could feel like you're helping with the medicine that I made. That was a bloody fortune and a half. More. But it was a good, it was good that I got diagnosed with cancer, and it is good that I got off my laurels and took care of some things. And because, you know, I've been planning for this life. You're not just planning for this life, you're planning for the next one. And for your eternities, for all of the eternities. That is a cute car. I've never seen anybody drive it. I wonder what year it was plated last. I can't go on their property, that wouldn't be proper. But it's a little teeny car. So cute. I don't necessarily like the color, but it's not bad. So I'm gonna show it to you. If I don't fall down first. Okay, that. Little green car right there. A little lime green Chevrolet. And I mean, it is little. I'll get over here and show you the side of it. Let's see. I don't know if you can, oh, there it is right there. So it's just little. So the big thing is if, you know, if you don't get in an accident, then Ruby Grapes, you can go all over the place, should get good gas mileage. But, you get in an accident, I think you're going to heaven. And yes, everybody's going to go to heaven. Now, I read something in the Book of Mormon that insinuated something different, but I choose to believe, you know, the total evil ones, those that are really causing trouble everywhere and delighting in everybody's misery, yeah, they're probably not gonna. They might not go to heaven where I'm talking about. They might go to another holding place. I don't want to consider it outer darkness, but that's what I read. You know, there's a difference between outer darkness and spiritual prison. What's the name of it? You've got paradise and something prison. So maybe it's called spiritual prison. I can't remember at the moment. Anyway, outer darkness. It does sound like if there's more than one way to look at this outer darkness thing, because they did say that they would go to outer darkness. And then they also said, I believe, that at the end of the millennium, they'd be released, okay? And also at the end of the millennium, there is going to be a big old battle where the bottomless pit is going to be opened. And there's going to be a big battle. And I'm not really quite understanding all that. Maybe by the time I finish doing all this reading that I've been doing, I'll understand a little more. Because, you know, it's been years. It really has. I studied and studied and studied when I was going through school. And then I studied even after I got married to the person across the street who did not want to get into the scriptures at all. But I still found myself wanting to because I believe in this eternal marriage thing, you know? And so I was like, I was in love, or I thought I was in love, and I'm saying, man, you know, you got to come with me. Otherwise, what's the purpose? What is the point? Sit there and waste your life with the wrong person when you could be doing good. You could be at least doing something, accomplishing something, but no. You know, you get caught up in the norm, right? You gotta go out and work for a living. And see, my first husband did not want me to go out and go to work, but I could not stand being at the house not doing anything. And then the nerve. He would come home after working and see dust on something, and oh my God, you know. Well, you know what? It's better to go to work. You do the dusting, you little shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like male chauvinist pigs either. I don't think anybody really does. Some people don't realize that's what they are. People from the old days are of that mindset. And a man that thinks he can lay down the law for the woman. We had company the other day. Somebody in the family married to my dad's sister. And he was doing some complaining about his wife and him. And my dad had the nerve to say, and he has no nerve about it, he believes it, you know, you gotta lay down the law. That is not how you keep a marriage intact, I can tell you that. Not unless you've got them all cowering down. What kind of a marriage is that? You know, you need to love your mate. You need to respect your mate. And you need to build things up together. So, any mindsets like that, they're not worth having, guys. Unless you can get it through their heads that they're wrong. They sure as hell wouldn't like it if you treated them like they treat you. And that's what happens, and that's why marriages break up. How stupid are people? We get married because it's the thing to do. Oh my, we don't want to be an old maid. Oh my God, you know. You don't realize how important this life is and how important you are, your life, not just that idiot you're married to. Marry the right people. Don't get married. Quit having sex. Now, how do you do both of those? Yeah, I know I did. I did. I've done all things bad, all things to hurt myself. I have experienced much pain, much sorrow, and a lot of it had to do with my choices. So, there you go, guys. Those papers I wrote are from my lessons. And my lessons started early. I'm talking about the ones after I left home. I got married 1 week to the day after I turned 17. So I had, what does that really mean? I think I've had 16 full years, and then you still have another year to go before it's actually been a full 17. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, there you are, it's a young thing. You don't know nothing. You don't know what's coming. You don't realize what your life is all about and what's important in life. And then you got this idiot for a husband who thinks, I'm going to go party with my friends. To hell with you. I don't care about you. You just stay home. Do your thing, whatever that could be, because you don't know what your thing is yet, because you're too young. So yeah, I got married a week after I turned 17. My family moved away. So it was me and him and his family. And we were not the same at all. There was not a lot of love. So yeah, I get sad. I get sad at all the millions of people who've done the same thing. There's a lot of women out there married to men they shouldn't be married to. I went out with the missionaries. I don't even think it was the missionaries this time. It was some ladies from the Relief Society. I went out with them. This was years ago. We went to a lady's house. She was a member of the church. And she had a testimony. But also, she made it known she could not come to church because of her husband. It's just a sad, sad situation out there, guys. We should be free to be who we are. And you need to marry somebody who appreciates exactly who you are, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't ever want to worry about that again. And I don't want to have to be the one that picks him up and puts him on the right place. Because that's a big old struggle in itself. Nobody's going to. So, you members of the church, you young people in the church, try not to go away. Try not to go astray. Meaning, you lose yourself in the identity of your husband. And then there you are. What is his identity like? And is that good enough for you? No, it's not. It is not. So that was at 17. And I'm 69 now. Before you know it, I'll be 70. The next thing you know, I'll be 80. No. I hope I do well. But that's why it's important, guys, to take care of yourself when you're younger, because you don't know what's coming up around the bend. And me and my future husband, if we are to be, we'll have a lot to do. We will have a lot to do. As in sharing the gospel, sharing the word of God, letting people know who they are. We are very important, if to nobody else but ourselves and our Father and Mother in heaven. There's just a whole lot of stuff that we need to attend to. And I do need to get into my own space. I don't know how much life I have left. I know I keep saying that, but I don't, you know. I could have 2 years, I could have 5, 10, 20, 30. And you know what? If I live that long, I'm pretty sure Jesus is coming by then. Because we're already at 2023. I tried to tell you guys something. I don't know if anybody caught on. But I said that 200 years is real important, okay? 200 years. So, I'm talking about when the Book of Mormon came out for people. Okay, I'm not exactly sure when that 200 years would start. Would it start with the first vision? No, I don't think so. Would it start with the first printing of the Book of Mormon? Not sure, but I don't think so. Organization of the church. That was in 1836, I believe. So that would give us to 2036 for 200 years, okay? So It's just something I picked up on when I was reading the scriptures, and I can't find it, or do I know about it at this point. My daughter was, that was 42 years ago when I was doing a lot of studying. I was up on a mountain on 5 acres, but actually it was over 500 acres. Somebody was running cattle, and I was just renting a house in that space. It was beautiful there. Totally beautiful. Serene. But no amenities. I had running water, excuse me. I did have amenities, but I didn't have any money. Didn't have a TV. Didn't have a telephone. I don't know how I communicated with the world at all. If anybody wanted to see me, they had to come and see me. It wasn't, very rarely was I down out of the mountain. But if I was down out of the mountain, then I had to go take a chance on if they were home. Nothing was easy. But anyway, yeah, someone said to me the other day, great things in life are not easy. Well, they could be easier. They really could be easier. Draw me a map. Tell me what time to be there. Give me the gasoline in my car to get there. There have been times I've gone on a trip because I was compelled to. I had to, and I had no money, but I had something that someone else would like to have. So, one time I went into a bar and tried to sell my wares just to get gasoline to get where I had to go. Strange. I'm definitely a strange bird. I don't really know what that means either, a strange bird. But they do say birds of a feather flock together, right? Or at least you know where to find, I can't think of my right words now, a semblance to who you are. No one knows who I am but me and my heavenly parents. And maybe those few who put their hands on my head to give me a blessing found out. Because I do believe in that, guys. God speaks to us. Okay? I had a blessing. They put their hands on my head. And then there were times when he just didn't say anything. And then he would say something, and then he'd stop again. But I know he was getting the lowdown on me. And in a good way, okay? Because we do not realize how important we are in the scheme of things and to other people. Kind of like It's a Wonderful Life. And the guy that didn't want to keep his life found out later how many things he affected. I believe he saved his brother's life, who his brother went on to do really great things. It's many different things that we do that are important. Like holding someone together when they're about to fall apart. Some of us can appreciate our blessings, and other ones can't even see what our blessings are. My hand's getting really cold. I'm gonna have to change hands, okay? And it's 33.53 is what it was when I changed hands. My 33s do show up a lot, an awful lot. And I think I started to say, and I don't know if I finished, when the second coming comes, if you are of the same mind as Jesus, and if you've been going around doing good works and stuff, then you will find that you'll be lifted up at the last day, and you won't have to die, okay? If Jesus comes the second time while we are still alive, we will not have to die. We'll be lifted up in the sky and be singing with the rest of them. I can't even imagine, but when he comes again, his glory is like fire. okay? And if you, like I said, if you're not of a like mind, only the wicked will be burned as stubble, okay? The rest will be lifted up. And I wouldn't want to be those wicked ones. And I don't have to worry about that because I have a lot of good in me. That scripture that says a wicked person has no part nor portion of good in them. Well, I can pass that. I got a lot of good in me. I do not have wickedness in me, and I do not try to cause trouble. Delight in someone else's misery and taking their life apart. You know how important your mate is? And then you got people out there just coming and trying to take them away. Yeah, there's a few of you. Yeah, if you ever see my stuff, you'll know it fits you. And you better frickin' repent. Maybe you saved me from going down a path that I didn't need to be on forever and a day. Because out of loyalty, out of doing the thing that's correct, the right thing you're supposed to do, I would have stayed married to that yahoo forever, I think. So, in some ways, that's really cool. Someone messed with my life and took it all apart, made me suffer for years, I might say, and not just made me suffer, but my child. At the end of my marriage, I produced a child. Me and Kevin produced a child. And boy, she's hell on wheels. I love her. She's a great person. She's got problems, though, like we all do. We all have to think about that. What are we doing with our life? Even me right now, I have certain things I want to do. I have plans going on, but that doesn't mean they're going to happen. I just have to try really hard. And you give up hope when things seem to be impossible. You just think they are, and you can't get it done. So, I teeter-totter on that. Sometimes I'm on fire, and sometimes I'm not. And life could be a lot easier. I could get things done easier with a little help. But I can't do that either. So here I sit. I have no car and no money. I do have things I can sell, but they're halfway across the country. They're not where I can just get after it and do it. Someone's got to show them. There's some little thing that needs to be fixed that stops you from selling it. There's just a lot of things that get in the way. So, I'm not sure when spring actually happens, because sometimes you hit February and then the snow flies again. But I know I cannot go live on that property by myself because there are things that need to be done, like going to the well and getting water. I could do that as long as nothing goes wrong, like the valves freezing and then you're there with no water. It could be much, much better than it is. And it's ridiculous that we've gone this long and not fixed it. I mean, really. If I would have realized what all needed to be done when we first got out there, then we could have got right after it. But I don't have the means to do that now. So you guys do not procrastinate. Yeah, they say don't procrastinate your day of repentance, but I'm talking about other things too. The way you can get together, become self-sufficient. Sometimes the person is too busy getting high. That's all they care about. They don't want to go out there and face the world that they need to face. So that is not cool. But it's not something This is what you guys just drive me crazy about, you know, and only the ones who fit, okay? But you got this horrible thing going on about pot. And what do you do to the people who smoke pot? What is the reason that you do it? Someone told you it was the evil weed, you know, like that idiot way back when. I almost want to say Reagan, and I know you guys love Reagan, but somebody decided that if they made marijuana illegal, they would have an easier way of shipping people back down to Mexico, okay? It was all about politics. And those are bad politics, or stinking thinking. And I am not kidding, stinking thinking. Keeping this marvelous medicine away from the world? Really? You know? You guys are all in cahoots. Big Pharma. They're the drug dealers. They are the drug dealers. And they got our armies over there across the world guarding poppy fields. Is that what they're supposed to be doing? And what does that tell you? There's drugs in the poppy fields, but you have to make it. It doesn't just pop out. It's, you know, it's a poppy. It's a beautiful flower. So if you leave it alone, it's just going to die. You know, it's not going to come in and give you a drug. But I believe heroin is a product of the poppies. Poppy seeds, maybe. But no, they want it for themselves. They want to be able to get that, produce that drug and get the money and make people suffer. I'm serious, it all goes together, guys. It all goes together. Yes, on hard things, it would be good to have some regulation, I guess. But not to the point where they throw your ass in jail. You know, no, don't smoke that evil weed. We're going to put you in jail. We're going to put you there forever. When what did you do? All you did was smoke the little weed. Maybe changed your mindset for a little while. Maybe made you happy a little bit, you know? But oh no, you can't do that. Can't do that. It's ridiculous. There should not be so many laws and things for people to get in trouble for. You guys make a law, and then you create a criminal. And then they get to spend their life in jail, and we, the taxpayer, gets to pay for it all. We get to pay for all of it. And I'm talking the police with their jobs, okay? If they need a job, they can go get a different job. They don't have to be a policeman, okay? They don't have to ride, I can't remember the word I started to say, but you know, they don't have to rule over us, because we should all be equal. And if we're not hurting somebody else, then it shouldn't be a problem. The problem is, a criminal is someone who does something to hurt somebody. Right now a criminal is someone who breaks the law, even if the law is not fair. No, I believe in obeying the law, as long as it's the law I believe in. Otherwise, no. That's ridiculous to make society your ruler when you're not doing anything wrong. Lord have mercy. Okay, let's see if you can see this. I'm gonna fall over. Pardon me. That's the umbrella tree up there. And across there is a little something. There are snowmen made out of wood, sliced wood. And I don't want anybody to get mad, but I want to walk up here. I'm going to do it. I want to show you this windmill that hides behind the tree. So let's see. I don't know if you can even see it. It's right there, but it's brown. Okay. If you didn't get it, I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes. Like my dad would say, first your money and then your clothes. Okay, I gotta get back out on the street. Oh, God. It really does not feel good. So I gotta figure out what I'm doing. I have my property in Colorado. but I really should put up for sale. I probably should call a couple people that I know would be interested in it. But see, I know the people up there, they're not going to want to pay anything. They're going to want to rip me off. Because they still have a mindset that that property's not worth much. But it is. It's worth a lot. It's all a matter of opinion. And I need to get to the people with the right opinion. You know? Then I got a piece of property in Downs that I need to take care of. And part of me says, okay, let's just go live there. Maybe I'll just go live there. I have a house. I mean, it's a little shack, but it's a house. It has it's really small, really small. Like, just picture maybe a 20 by 20. I don't even think it's a 20 by 30. But it's got a wall heater in the living room. That's enough to heat the whole house. So it's got a little kitchen, it's got a little bathroom, and a little bedroom, and a closet. The closet is off the... Okay, so you walk into the house, and on the right-hand side, you're going to walk into the living room. Okay, so the right-hand side of you is the living room. You get to the other end of the living room, which is about 13 feet, and to the left is a doorway that goes into a bedroom. So I'm trying to draw you a picture. The first half of the house when you walk in is the bedroom and the living room, okay? And then if you're in the bedroom, on the very far left, at the end of the bedroom, starts the closet, okay? It's bigger than just a normal little closet, but still it's small. And the reason I mentioned that, the bathroom, okay, so what you have is the bedroom, and then right off the bedroom, right straight in front of the bedroom is that closet, and then on the other side of that closet is the back of the bathroom. Okay, now you can't get into the bathroom from there. You have to go back out to the living room. So you go back out to the living room, and then you walk towards the back of the house, and you've walked into the kitchen. You get to the other end of the kitchen, and to the left is the doorway going into the backyard, okay? But also in front of that, before you go outside, is the bathroom. So it's bedroom, closet, bathroom on that one side of the house. And then on the other side of the house, you just have the living room and the kitchen. And then there's underneath where the bathroom and the closet is a room under the ground, okay? Like not a basement, but like a little partial, I can't even say a half basement, it's just a partial room under the house where we have our water softener down there. We put one in, and then it's just got some shelves so you can put some cellar stuff, something that can stay cold, can stay under there. And then the lot for the house, I am not sure, but I'm thinking it's about 125 feet deep and about 40 feet wide. We made a huge doghouse in the back because we had puppies. We had a male that was an adult and 2 females that were adults, and then 2 litters. And those litters grew up past the 6-month period, so then they were considered dogs. So then we were in trouble because you can't have dogs. However, other people who were privileged in the community had dogs, more dogs than they should have had, right there in town. And it was okay because of who they were. But no, not me. Me and Joe. See, Joe had lived there. Joe had a son who went to school there. But for some reason, they thought we were new, and so they treated us in such a manner. Not cool. Not cool at all what they did. And yeah, even to this day, if it was possible, if I had the money, I'd get a lawyer and go take care of some business. because we were treated totally unfair. And I lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Nobody even knows what I lost. And you know, my husband wasn't worried about it either because it wasn't his stuff, it was mine. Okay? So he didn't care. The only thing he cared about at this one particular time, about losing everything, was that they were going to get his dad's coat. One piece of material goods. And I know it was for sentimental reasons, but he didn't give a rip about all that I lost. All that I lost did not count. And it was his fault. It was his fault. Everything was his fault. And I paid a bloody fortune. Still to this day. So, you can lose everything, it's okay. My possessions don't mean anything. But it's how he was about it all. Serious biz. You guys need to take care of your people. Those dogs are going crazy over there because somebody with a dog just walked by. So they're up on the roof just running crazy. I want to walk while I can until I get put down. I walked pretty good, actually. And I might just do one more row. I need to go take a shower. And then I want to figure out some more stuff. I need to figure out how to sell some stuff, start putting money in an account so that I can have some money, not let everything go to waste. But I mean, you have no idea. I traded my property in Downs for that property in Colorado. I had a very nice, big, it was old, but I had a big house. I didn't like how it was all set up, but it was brick. And we could have set it up different, but it was still nice. It was very nice for what was available. And then when I traded properties and stuff, I was supposed to be able to stay there. But no, the minute he saw my property, he wanted me out and him in. So I traded properties with a thief. I didn't know he was a thief. And someone who did not keep his word. And someone who was a liar. So there you are. Property's mine. I did my due diligence, but I did not research his character. But the point is, I had a home. I had the amenities of life. I had a half acre of ground with trees and green grass. And I traded it for a property that's kind of like barren. I mean, it's good for a wheat farm. Half of it can be grown in wheat. The other half can be grown just pasture. And at one point in time, there were just too many prairie dogs, okay, that made holes everywhere and just made things where they didn't grow. But see, a few years back, the neighbors and I got together. I mean, I spent a fortune on poison to kill those prairie dogs. And then the neighbors went out and did it all. A lot of difference that made. Except for the problem is I'd had to get rid of my goats because the neighbors didn't like that either. You know, there's so many things your neighbors can get in your face about. But anyway, point is, let's see. Before I moved to my property, I took the best of what I had and put in 2 different 50-foot storage units. And I had already sent several loads back. Like the guy that was taking my property and that we traded, he would bring a load and put it in a storage unit. Then he'd come to my house, and the first time Joe went with him and took a load back, but then he had to figure out how to get back to where we were. So it was like a 328-mile trip one way. So anyway, after one or two times, they said, well, he don't have to come. We can just do it, drop it off, and then come back and get more, bring more and get more, and etc. Let's see. Yeah, someone, myself, who doesn't steal, who doesn't even think that way, sure, that'll be all right. That's good. Then Joe won't have to worry about having to get in the way back. Well, it turns out that he would take my stuff, and I don't even know if it made it to the property. But I believe some of it did, made it to the property, and then they came on the property and stole it, took it all away. A freezer, washer and dryer, all kinds of different things that were on that load. I don't even know. And my jewelry. I had an Avon store in my basement, and I had my jewelry displayed everywhere. And when there were things, they sold really good jewelry. And then when they closed them out or whatever and the price went down, I grabbed some, for my store. I had it all in a box. I had a big box full of little boxes of jewelry, and those pieces of jewelry were $50. They weren't the cheap stuff. I mean, there might have been something that was cheap, and $50 is cheap compared to what some of you guys spend out there. But the point is, that was not supposed to go. And they took it. In their first load, they took it. So you can better bet. I know, I watched that girl, the girl that lived with him, I watched her go through someone else's stuff that they had left behind. So I can picture it in my head exactly. She just took her bloody time and went through my boxes, put it out there in the antique malls. But, I had a hard time not wishing bad things on them. But I know God's going to take care of them. And actually he did. Because the guy started seeing somebody else in town, and the girl that moved over there with him called the law on him. Because he was a poacher. He had all these, heads and stuff. He had all this stuff from the result of killing animals. And she got she got Colorado to come into Kansas and get his ass. Yes, I said that bad word, but it's just your butt, Point is, they had him out in the yard with all kinds of stuff. I just heard it from somebody else, and he went to prison. Now, that's not his up and comings for what he did to me. I never filed charges. I should have. I really should have. So I have to watch that, because you want to be careful what you wish on somebody too. But I did wish bad things on him. And he got them. And I don't know what else he got, but he had a lot of up and comings coming. Not just from me. Now, I'm warning you people. Anybody who has anything to do with me, God's aware of me. Don't be messing with me, because you will definitely get messed with back. And that's a fact. So, still, I have to be careful what I wish on somebody else. I certainly don't want it coming back on me. But God is just, like I was reading the other day, maybe even yesterday. It's talking about mercy and justice. And it called justice a man, and it called mercy a female. It referred to her as a her. And that would make sense, those feelings. It would make perfect sense that the man is going to do the justice, because the woman's got such a heart that she bleeds, I have a bleeding heart. Not good. I'm going to go to the end of the street, and then I'm going to call it quits, I think. Maybe I'll walk again a little later. Walking helps things move, too. Not that that's something we should talk about, but there are people who have a hard time going to the bathroom. And actually having a hard time walking, too, so it makes it a little rough. But I have noticed that when you walk, it helps to make things move. And my naturopath said that if I would walk an hour a day, that would take the reoccurrence of my cancer down 25%. That's a big chunk, very big chunk. So I would just say that it would be good. It would behoove you to walk. And I'm not saying run. Do not run. I don't even know. My cousin Di, she runs. But I also have heard of people's meat falling right off their bones because you're jarring it around. You go jarring it and you're touching the ground in such a way, just like I said the other day, I was walking on the sidewalk and then all of a sudden it was gone. I'm sure that had something to do with how I feel. It really jarred me up. But I'm going to go in the house and have a shower. And then I'm not sure. I have some things I need to do. And I have some cozies I need to make. And I could not see the needle to put the thread through it. I could not. It's like, dang. How am I going to do this job if I can't see the thread in my machine? So I do want to get those done. Then it won't be a wasted thing. In other words, I bought all that stuff. I looked before I bought to get the best deals I could, and then I tried to match up materials so I could make these towel holders. I mean, the towel is affixed to something that you can affix over the oven door, or maybe the bathroom, what is it I'm trying to say? The bar, the towel bar. We put, well, actually Dad's got some of these, what is it called? Those rails that you can pull yourself up with. Dad has some of those, but they're wide. They're not small. And so the towels fall off of that too. They just fall right off. Anyway, I'm in the house, it's dark, gonna hit the bathroom. So I'm gonna say sayonara. Bye guys, love you all.